Hello friends, welcome in. Let's get myself shared. Hello, hello. Thank you so much for being here, guys. Hey there, thank you so much, Miss Deborah, for sprinkling me out. Hello there, Creative Designs and DIY from Blueberry Hill. Miss Debbie, hello. How are you doing? Hope you are doing well. It is so nice to see everybody. And thank you for joining me. So I am the last presenter for the Sacred Treasure House today in their clay and resin event. And if you guys have missed it, like, you really need to go back and check it out because everybody has done these amazing pieces. Ramona! Hello there, sweet friend. How are you? Hello there, Miss Ray. How are you doing? Thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate it. I'm horrible with names, so forgive me for that. I do appreciate the patience because I will forget. I will forget names. Clicking names with pages, it's hard sometimes. But so yeah, everybody's been working with clay or resin today, and it's been really cool. Some great tips. So if you ever wanted to play with either of these mediums, I highly suggest you go back and watch the replays. You can catch everybody at the Sacred Treasure House. It's a free event group, so please go and check them out. Miss Wendy, how are you doing, my sweet friend? I keep you in my prayers because I know you've got a lot going on, so I hope you are doing better. Alrighty, let's see if I can see myself in the comments. And I need to put charge because I've been carrying my phone with me everywhere so I wouldn't miss stuff, and my phone's dying on me. Go figure. Alright, so I'm gonna turn you all down on my, so you guys can see what I'm doing. Now, you are quite welcome. You are quite welcome. Thank you, Miss Lindell. How are you doing, sweetie? I know, it's gonna be okay, sweetheart. So, this is a journal cover that I have been working on. And we are going to create the basis for what I'm going to be adding here, and I want to create it out of clay. So I thought it would be great if we did this together so you guys could maybe get ideas. That's what I'm hoping. Fingers crossed. So we'll see how it goes. I don't really have molds that have like really cool flourish designs on them, so I'm just going to have to wing it. Thank you, dear. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. And I have some white air dry clay, and I have this really cool one that is wood, and I'm very excited to play with this one because it says it's supposed to look like wood and that it has like fibers, so I'm excited to use this one in here. So yeah, we'll be using those things, and let's get started. Okay, let's get started. Let's get playing. I am gonna take my rings off for this one, so you know, just so that I don't kind of mess those up too much. But yeah, if you have missed any of today's presenters, please go back and watch them because, like I said, everybody has had amazing creations and just really cool pointers, and I've just been amazed to see what everybody does because I learn a lot and then I get inspired to create as well. You know, we are constantly inspiring each other, and that's one of the things that many times I think we tend to forget, is that even, you know, within the creators, we are constantly, sorry, I'm looking for a tool right now that I just can't seem to find. I don't know what the heck I did with it. Well, I guess we'll just have to make it work. So I'm going to move this out of the way. Yes. Well, I didn't know it existed until I found it. And I found it at the Hobby Lobs, actually. So I was like, wait, what? So I was excited for that. I was very excited for that, for sure. And I like the DOS brand. It is a good brand. That is for sure. So we are going to be using some of this today. Hello there, Sissa. Hello, hello, friend. How are you? Thank you for coming in. I really do appreciate you. Ooh, I do like that. I like the texture of that. That's pretty cool. Now, I don't know how much I'll be using, so I'm going to just take a little bit at a time and put the rest back in my bag, because I don't want it to dry, because, I mean, at the end of the day, it is still an air dry clay. I'm doing alright. I had mouth surgery because I had a tooth that needed to be extracted, but it was up in my sinus cavity, so they wouldn't do it there on the that is one of the features of the system that I use. So, hey there, Miss Sheila! How are you? But you know you can put closed caption on your stuff too, right? You know that, Miss Wendy. Or at least I hope you do. You know that. So, yeah. But, yeah, I had to have this one tooth taken out because even though it needed to come out, it was being, it was inside of going up into my sinus cavity, so they wouldn't take it out. This is called, it is DOS is the name of the brand, and it is wood. It is wood, and so it actually says that it has with tender wood fibers in it. So it actually has like wood fibers in it to make it look more realistic like wood. So I think that's pretty cool. I think so. And I did find it at the Hobby Lobby. Hobby Lobby was the one who had it. So, but yeah, I had to have that tooth removed because it was that or a root canal, but at the same time, because it was up in my sinus cavity, they were not too keen on the root canal either, so, and I definitely wasn't too keen on it. Yeah, I know, and it's really neat. It's got this really cool, you can tell it's really fibrous, so I actually do like it. So let's see, I need to bring my roll over here. And I should have done this on my glass mat, but it'll be fine. It'll be fine, it'll be fine. So, you are quite welcome. Yeah, so, you know, I was having a lot of mouth pain and headaches because of it, and now I have mouth pains not because of the tooth, but because of them going in. And now it's been a week but my teeth are starting to shift because there's a tooth missing, and so it hurts, of course. Of course it hurts, because why wouldn't it? I mean, right? That's just how it goes. Okay, so I'm trying, like I said, I don't have a mold, so this is all going to be freehand style, as much as I can, and because I need to make the base for what's going to be this round. And so, and then I need this to stick. So this will actually probably end up sitting here. I mean, I'll end up moving it just because. And I didn't bring a roller or anything. So it's really going to be rough, but it'll be fine. I just think it's going to look cool with the texture that it has, especially because we are putting it on this, which is also wood. So I think that's really going to make up for it. What did I saw you working with clay, but I didn't catch which one you were working with though. Miss Lisa Mary, like I saw you were doing that beautiful painting, and you were painting your clay actually. I didn't count which type of clay you were using though. Like, I do like the DOS brand, I will tell you that. It is one of the better ones when it comes to your air dry clays. And it does work. It is a lot easier to work with, I will say that for sure. It is challenging with no roller. It is a challenge, for sure. Because even when you're making cookies, we have a roller. But, you know what? It's going to add to its uniqueness. Right? We gotta look at that. We gotta look at the bright side of things. It's going to be very unique. Oh, the white one. Really? That's odd. Maybe it's because of the fibers. I don't know, because I've never had issues with the DOS. I actually prefer it. You know what's also really good air dry clay? Your Crayola air dry clay, guys. I use that one a lot in my fake bakes, and I do like that one. That one's also really good. Yeah, DOS doesn't crack as much, which is one of the things that I like about it too. So that is very true. Hello there, Miss Melanie. Welcome in, my friend. Welcome in. So today's event is being hosted by Sacred Treasure House, and that is, we have 3 amazing hosts. So we have Miss Deborah from Sacred Treasure, well, from Sacred Sew, and then, so see, now I'm just bringing it down so it gives me the curve that I need. And we have Lisa's Treasure House, and then we have Tanya's Sacred, nope. Lord, I'm getting myself all confused today. And I normally don't have this issue. I normally remember everything. But join the free group. It is in the link in my description. Sacred Treasure House. You can see all the great events there that are hosted by Miss Deborah, Miss Lisa, and Miss Tanya, and all of the amazing people who have been here. Yes, it is gonna be a snow globe. And it's gonna end up being on my journal, which is what I want. I am making a snow globe journal cover. So that is what this will be turning into. So I'm just pushing it in so that it actually has what I want it to have. And I'm actually going to try to push it over A total live brain. Oh my word, tell me about it. Like, I'm normally not this bad. For y'all who've seen me, I normally what I forget tends to be, you know, like the name of things, but not the name of who's hosting the event. Like, jeepers. But I guess today's the day, right? There's always at least once we all need to have those blooper moments where we just, yeah. I was super excited when I saw the theme of using clay or resin, and I debated on which one to use, right? I really did debate on which one to use because I have worked with both. But seeing as I am in the middle of this project, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna wait and I'll do this on the live, and that way we can do it together. So that's what I was thinking. Now obviously this will have to end up drying right here in place, and I'm fine with that. I'll just come and clean my work surface up. I should have brought, like I said, I should have brought my glass mat that I normally use when I'm working with clay, because then I can pick the whole glass mat up. Because obviously this is air dry clay, it needs to cure, so you at least have to give it 24 hours before you move it. And then you really want your air dry clay to get at least about 24 hours to cure. I mean, you need 24 hours to cure so you can move it, and then a full, like, at least a week for it to be, you know, like done. You know what I mean? Alright, now, because I do want this to be wood, I am going to come through and use not too crazy like, but I do want to add some little striations, and we'll take off whatever kind of breaks off just to give it a little more texture, because remember this is supposed to look like wood, so I'm really gonna leave it pretty much as is. I don't plan on really painting it, especially because it will match the like woodland type theme that I have going on. So I am just kind of clearing the edges here and making them kind of, but yeah, so see, now there's a little texture in there. Where'd you go? Like, where'd you go, edge? There's a little texture there, so that gives it a little something, right? So that's gonna work. Okay, so that's good right there. Alright, let me, yeah, there we go, Lisa's Craft House. Alright. Okay, I'm gonna wipe my hands right quick because they're starting to look like I was out playing in the dirt. And this reminds me of being a kid. I guess it's why I like working with this type of clay. Now, don't get me wrong. I also work with the clay that you have to bake, and I think that we're going to use some of that one here in a bit, because I actually do have some out here with me. So, because I think I'm going to use that to do the detailing on the actual globe portion of this. And let's just try to get some of this mess up, because, you know, if you ain't making a mess, are you really crafting? That's just a question. If you ain't making a mess, are you really crafting? just a genuine question. Mud pies! Oh my gosh, mud pies! Yes! You know, my brother came very close many times to eating some of my mud pies. Because he would make me mad. You know, growing up, when we were really little, for the longest, it was just me and my brother. So, you know, my dad would tell us that we would have to get along and that we had to, you know, play a little bit of what the other one wanted to play. So we would play, I played with trucks and construction gear and cars and Legos, you know, and things, you know, because that's what my brother wanted to do. And then he had to play Barbies with me. So, yeah. Okay, so this is Sculpey, and this one is the souffle, so it's a little bit softer, which works a little bit better for my hands. And then this one is the one that you have to bake, okay? So I like that a lot because with something like this that's wood, I can put it into the oven and it will stay in place. If that's like, if I'm trying to get something to be permanent, okay? You ate the sand pies. Hey, you know, I was the big sister, but man, that boy tested my patience and every ounce that I had. So even though this one, you know, is for baking, you still are gonna want to put it, you know, in a Ziploc bag or something of that sort, because I mean it'll still dry up. It's still clay at the end of the day. It won't dry up like air dry clay, but it will dry. Okay, and you can paint this. Okay, you can totally paint this, but this is a lot of fun to work with. I had fun making mud pies. What are we talking about? You had 3 brothers and no sisters? Yeah, see, growing up, I just had my brother. It was just my brother and me. So, and I was the oldest. So, of course, you know, I also always got the lecture of, oh, you know, well, you're the oldest and you should set the example and all that stuff, right? Oh my god, all the stuff I did not want to hear. All that stuff that I definitely did not want to hear. Okay, so now that I've worked this enough, I'm trying, need this to be a little bit drier. Alright. And then you can go back and paint this if you want to, but you know, you can buy these with colors. And that way you can do whatever you want with this. Again, this needs to bake, okay? It will get brittle, but it won't dry. Like, it won't cure, okay? So you know, you do have to bake this one. You were the second child. You had 1 brother and 2 sisters. Oh, so he was the only boy, so I bet he got spoiled. Today was my niece's birthday, so I called my brother. I sent him a message and he was like, "Hey, do you have a second? Do you wanna talk with her?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, of course I'd love to talk with her, with my niece." So I did. I got to talk with her and wish her happy birthday. She was with her grandparents and my brother, his mom. Hey there, Miss Mandy. How are you, my friend? Welcome in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. so let me see if this is going to work, because if not, I'll have to change over to some of air dry clay. I mean, it will. It's just gonna be a bit of a pain. That's all. And then once this is baked, this stays hard. So whatever you do to it, it's gonna stay. Okay? Yeah, that's not wanting to work. Alright, so we're going to plan B with this. We're going to use it for the inside. Hey there, Miss Lydia! How are you, sweet friend? Miss Lydia was on today, too. So many amazing creators were on today. Seriously, if you missed out, you need to go and check the replays. Because there was so many amazing creators on. Like, really good creators. And they had so many awesome ideas of stuff to do. Yeah, see? And then, Miss Grace did this beautiful ornament. There was a lot of ornaments today, and I did see that. Images being done. Lots of Christmas. We're all definitely in the Christmas spirit, that's for sure. There was a lot of Christmas. Nothing wrong with that. Don't get me wrong. Okay, nobody come at me with the Christmas police and say that I don't like Christmas or something, because I do. I do. So I'm actually making a snowman to go inside of my little snow globe. I just have to make sure that he's not going to be higher than my wood piece, because I do have to make the what you call it, the film part on top. So just trying to get this. What side are we on? Okay. And normally snowmen have three rounds, right? That's normally what a snowman is. Asking for somebody who has never personally made a snowman other than in my crafts. I mean, don't get me wrong. I was watching that North Georgia's already gotten snow. I love snow globes, Miss Mandy. It's one of the things that I collect. I love them. So I have a bunch of snow globes. I have Nightmare Before Christmas snow globes. I have Woodland snow globes. I have Grinch snow globe. All kinds of them. Snow globes are just so cute. They're just so stinking cute. So he's gonna be baked, which will be nice, because that way I don't have to worry about him moving anywhere. And you can paint on this clay just like you do with the other ones. Like I said, the only difference is for curing, it has to go into the oven. Use a dish, okay, that you either have a separate dish that you only use for baking your clay in, or make sure that you line it with like a parchment paper or something of that nature, and then you're going to bake it. And always follow the instructions that they have on here. So like this one says that it needs to go at 275 Fahrenheit, 30 minutes for every fourth of an inch. So that'll be in for at least 30 minutes. You know, if you go over a little bit, it's fine. The biggest thing is, you know, if you go too far over, then yeah, it might cause some issues. So just follow the instructions and you'll be fine. Alright, so this is air dry clay, and we're going to use it to make my little bottom scene here. And this clay is so much fun to use. Like I said, this is like your Crayola air dry clay. So much fun to use. Oh my gosh, it's so much fun to use. Absolutely love it. So we're going to make us some little mountains to go along here, and this is going to be the base of where we're going to add everything on. So and everybody getting ready for Thanksgiving? Does anybody have plans? We're trying to plan. My son wants to come home for Thanksgiving, so we're trying to figure out how to go get him from North Carolina. Because as some of you may remember, that back in June, both of our vehicles were hit by lightning, and I still have not gotten my car back. I know, right? It is so much fun to use this clay because it is so soft. It is so soft. So yeah, so I still don't have my car, so I have to juggle with hubby's work schedule if I want to do anything, and it's a 7-hour drive out to where he's at for us one way. So yeah. Oh, you're going to Waco to be with family. That is awesome. See, that's what it's all about. That's why when, you know, my son's like, you know, I'd love to come home. I have a 4-day weekend. I'm like, okay, we're gonna try to figure it out. And well, it definitely ain't gonna be, I was thinking of putting him on like on a Greyhound or something, but geez, it takes about 13 hours to get here. I'm like, at that point, I would drive over that way. So see, so now that I have like my mountain part, like I'd be able to put him there and all of the things. So I'm actually gonna put the rest of this away. No, actually, let's make something for the top. So he's gonna be here, and I actually need to hold it up like this. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I really do. I thought this would be a fun idea. So I'm gonna make sure that we have the little the little concave spot there for our snowman to fit, because he needs to fit like right there. But yeah, I was like, seriously, 14 hours to get from where he's at in North Carolina here. And it's because of all the stops. And then Amtrak doesn't even cover that area, so that sucks. So yeah, looks like I might be doing a little trip up to the Carolina area. I love these little trees. And then we can paint a deer, and we could add a deer. So let's do that. Let's go ahead, and we can go ahead and glue this, even though this is not dry, but the air dry clay, this part here, I'm gonna go ahead and glue this down to it. And that way I can start at least assembling some of the items to it. So we're gonna do that. Thank you. You know, that's the thing. Like, I was looking at Train, and they were saying, the website saying that there isn't even a way to get him from Jacksonville, North Carolina to Atlanta. And I was like, you would think that there would be an option, right? But I guess not. Like, who am I to think these things? Evidently not. It's crazy though. So I'm guessing I'm gonna be doing that 7 hours up and 7 hours back. So it'll be 14 hours for me, but 7 hours for him, so it'll be alright. Okay, why? Lord. Alright, kids, don't do this at home. Because it's not wanting to work. Let's see if I have another one. Don't worry, I was trying to use it on the side that still works. The side that does not hurt. But it'll be alright. So yeah, so I'll be coming to Carolina. Because I definitely want, you know, if my baby wants to come home for Thanksgiving, we definitely gonna try to make that happen. Because, you know, come January, he's leaving to go to be stationed in Japan, so we won't see him much after that. And he was actually telling me today that it looks like he'll be leaving around the 1st of the year. So, yeah. So I'm grateful that, you know, if we can get him to come for Thanksgiving, and then he'll be here again for Christmas. So I'll definitely be grateful for that part. Because I'm gonna miss my baby. It's so hard when they grow up, you know. I'm so proud of you know, how they're all doing their thing and all the wonderful accomplishments that the kids are doing, but they're still my babies. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Gotta see him now because he is scheduled to be in Okinawa for the next 3 years, starting next year. So who knows when we'll get to see him again. So, yep. Now I just gotta figure out how to get him here and then back, and also, make sure that my husband still has his ride for work. So I gotta figure that part out. That's the only thing. That's the only part that sucks with all of this thing of not having my own car, is that I have to juggle around, with the one vehicle that we do have. So I need to talk with my eldest tomorrow and see what his schedule is like. See if he can have the day off and he can drive his brother home. Well, back to base. Y'all know what I mean. It's his home. So, but yeah, I'm just grateful that I get to spend some time with him. As little as it may be. But sometime. That's the thing. It's another expense, and better make sure that I have insurance on it and everything. So I don't know. I gotta look. I mean, honestly, it might be easier to just find somebody to give my husband a ride, or even Uber to work if needed, and me drive. So. But I'll be talking with the oldest one tomorrow and see what his schedule is like. Oh, a deer? Eesh, ay, ay, ay. For what? For the car rental? Yeah, he would have to be the one renting it though, and I would have to rent it from here. That's the only kicker. Um, they are taking forever with my car. Oof, I know. Tell me about it. This has been since June. So, okay. So let's think about topper. What kind of topper does a snow globe usually have? Some of them don't have anything on them, and some of them do. And I want mine to have something. So what do you think? Kind of like maybe like a little bulb type thing, maybe? I really wish. So, are you okay? Is the deer okay? And how is your car? Is the question. Who won? The deer or the vehicle? Because that's. Ooh. Yeah, that's no fun at all. Well, see, that's the thing. My vehicle is not really fixable either, Miss Lydia. Um, but they're just playing around with it because they'd have to write me a check for the value of it, because we literally just paid off my vehicle about a month or two before, about 2 months before, and then we got my husband's truck because we were like, okay, well, we can't have two car payments, and he needed a new vehicle because his was dying on him, and we were down to using mine. So it is still drivable. He got the lights. You won, you walked away and went to work. Well, wow, you went to work even after that. And you're okay, right? Like nothing hurts? Because many times, yeah, we walk away, but then we realize later that things hurt. So, you always got to be careful about the later part. Because believe me, I learned that one the hard way. I did. I learned that one the hard way. Okay, so I think I got a nice little, like, thing here. So, let's do another one. The deer are all over the place. I actually have when my son used to work at a coffee shop before he went to the Navy, his boss would sometimes pick him up and sometimes drop him off. And she would say, she told me, she's like, she hated coming through my neighborhood because of the amount of deer that live in the area and everything else. And I'm like, well, I mean, I understand that, but what am I gonna do? Tell the deer they can't live here? It's their home. It's their home too. So you almost hit a turkey. We've actually seen wild turkey around here. My daughter was asking me about that. She was like, Mom, are there turkeys? I'm like, yeah, there's turkeys out in the wild, child. Oh, have you gone to go get yourself checked, dear? You need to make sure that you're okay. Because, falls are no joke, number one, and you need to make sure that everything is okay. And I know. Turkeys are something else. And a wild turkey, have you ever seen one? They're ugliest. They're uglier than sin. They end up in their yard. Huh. That's something. Alright, so let me see. I think I want to do kind of like a ball, but with like a little bit of a kind of trying to give it some. You're fine. Okay. Alright. Alrighty, dear. Just take care of yourself, please. Because, I know how we are. We can be very stubborn at times and not to go get ourselves checked because, well, we gotta go to work and we have all these responsibilities and this, that, the other, and we think that things, just go by. So, what y'all think? What do you think of this? Does this topper look good for it? Sorry, I didn't realize that you guys were not even on in view. Does that look good? Yeah, tell me about it. That turkey would be dinner. I love you. So what you think? Y'all think that looks good like a topper right there? Sissa's Creative Corner Turkey Dinner. Yes, let's make turkey dinner. So we're gonna go old school. We're gonna catch it. We're gonna defeather it. We're gonna gut it. We're gonna do all the things, right? Ah, that's hilarious. That is too funny. Yeah, Sis is gonna give us a lesson on how to do that. And you can totally, you could come in and paint this if you wanted to. Because it's just white. So it's not like it's anything super duper. I think that looks really good. Okay. Now, the biggest question is it going to fit? No. Which means that we might have to cut some of this down, or I might have to make this part smaller. So let's see how that looks. Because remember, this needs to fit on my cover, right? Because that's the whole plan for it, is for it to fit on the cover to be turned into. So I need to make sure. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to cut some of this off. Oh, thank you. That's what grocery stores are for. I know, right? That's exactly what grocery stores are for. I told my poor son. So my oldest is grocery manager for one of our local public stores, and he despises Thanksgiving at work. He loves it at home, but at work, because it is a lot of work for them. If you boil it a few minutes, all the pin feathers. Yes, exactly. That's what you did with chickens. You just threw them in boiling water, and you were able to get rid of all the, all the little feathery things that they had going. So, yeah, if you had to, I think we all would do that, Debbie, but like if we don't have to, then, yeah, I agree. Like, no, I'm going to the grocery store. Pluck, 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 pluck. Just pluck it all up. It'll be fine. Miss Debbie's still like, nope, 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 nope. It'll be fine without it. I will go to the grocery store. If it was the Pilgrim's time, sure. And we'll even deal with trying to catch one of them mean wild turkey things. 'Cause those suckers are mean, y'all. They are very, very mean. You've had to? Yeah, growing up on a farm, I've had to as well. So, yay, that's gonna fit. Perfect. It's awesome. I mean, it'll be the length of my thing, but that's perfect. I'm happy with that. 'Cause now that's gonna fit and it's gonna look really, really cute on top of my thing once it's dry. My husband did all the farm things growing up, including eating his pet chicken. Yeah, so about that. Let's just say that when I learned what where the really cute chicks that because we always went and we bought chicks at like the farmer's market per se, brought them home to raise them. But when I learned what the whole deal with the eggs, let's just say I stopped eating chicken eggs for a while. I'd still pick them every morning, and I would tell my dad and my brother that they were, the most horrible people in the world because they were eating, baby chicks. But then it's no worse than when my dad we had one of the cows butchered, and literally all the meat in the deep freezer was labeled with his name on it, with the name that me and my brother gave that. And it was like, could you have not done that? Could you have not written down that, so that I, when I go and get ground beef, I know, I'm not knowingly grabbing, this little calf that we, named and raised and everything else. Oh my gosh. And he was like, well, it's the way that I can differentiate, if it, and I'm like, yeah. So I also became vegetarian for a while. So y'all can imagine. Yeah, my dad's thing was, oh, it's all part of life, but I was like, okay, that's just too much. That's too much. So, yeah. I know. I wouldn't, no, my grandpa had to cleanse those deer. One of, I think it was like my oldest son's third job, um, or second job. He actually worked at a little deer processing place around here. So when he goes hunting now with his friend, um, he actually does the processing of their deer because he has the experience from when he worked there. And I think they're good skills to have, don't get me wrong. And I understand why it's there and all, but yeah, it's still hard. Poor Bambi. Yes, let's not talk about poor Bambi. Okay, so once this is completely dry and I can actually pick it up, I will glue it to the base, and all of this will get glued to that cover, to that journal cover that you guys saw. I am going to go bake my cute little, and I'm going to try to see if I can, these might end up just getting glued onto the actual journal part. And him, should I leave him wood color? No, you know what? Let's do the baby wipe and some wax. Thank you. I appreciate that. So hopefully you guys will try playing with clay, or maybe you've thought of playing with resin. You can go back and rewatch some of today's amazing creators who have been on. Like I said, we've had all amazing, wonderful, creative people on today, and you definitely need to go and check them out. And you don't have to start with like a whole lot of stuff. Like, you don't have to go like super crazy with it. Just try it with a little bit of stuff, After, how can people kill a poor... Hey, I mean, I get it. I understand. You do it, I mean, honestly, you do it as a survival mode. So, like, for my son and his friend and his parents, the deer that they hunt, that is the bulk of their meat for the year. That is literally what they tend to eat the most of, is that. Because, and I get it, meat's expensive and it's only gotten worse. So, yes, have a wonderful night, everybody. I really do appreciate you guys being here and having hanged out with me. But yeah, so I'm going to add him in here. We'll have the 2 trees. I'm going to go bake this in my oven so that I can add my little snowman over here. And then I'll just paint on some eyes when he's done. And he'll actually be up here. So I'm actually gonna... So he'll actually be like up there. And the trees will be in the background. So it's kind of have that 3D. You think of Bambi. I mean, I understand that. Like I said, I totally understand that. You end up getting used to the thought of it or whatever. And then that's the other thing, like if you're doing it, like there's people that go hunting just for the sport, but like I understand like the reasoning behind for my son and his friend and his parents. Like that is their lifestyle. That is they do it for the food. They do it, you know, as a form of sustenance, not for the sport of it. Um, and like they use every bit of it, and you know they process every bit of it. Um, so you know if you do it responsibly, I think that's fine. It's just there's way too many people that go out there and do it just for doing it, right? So it is a circle of life, you know. It is. It really is. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me and watching me create this piece. Like I said, this piece will be eventually added to my journal along with everything else that I will be doing to that book. So thank you so much for having me, to the awesome ladies from Sacred Treasure House. Again, it is a free event group. Please go check them out. Today was all about clay and it was all about clay and resin. You're leaving work. Okay, bye. Have a safe travel home. And please follow, you know, Miss Deborah, Sacred Treasure, Sacred Sew, uh, Tanya's Treasures, and Elisa's Craft House. And thank you so much. Yes, we got to post pictures in the group. So, love you guys. Thank you for being here and